Bun, bun. Mă aud? Mă aud oare?
front of your teammate, that's a very bad sign. Um, and that all carries into rotation. So how you rotate is how you will position. Your rotation will lead you into certain positions, right? Obviously. So it depends on that. So then I'll have to look at like how you're rotating, whether you're rotating more wide, whether you're rotating to more middle, all that type of stuff. So I would say like start off. And I even tweeted about this. So if you want great examples, dude, like literally watch like any Daniel replay, and we'll actually be watching one right here really soon. But watching Daniel and seeing how he rotates, you guys will understand a lot about like, cause dude, this is what led me. Like I would say this contributed a large amount to like why like I started winning a lot again. Um, 'Cause as you guys see, like I just said 2100. Don't worry about the other ranks. But yeah, after not playing for a break, I really feel like I can help you guys out. So I'm gonna be showing you guys what I saw and led me to what led me to this like feeling really comfortable in higher ranks. How can I make myself improve the most in the most short path? The shortest time period. I'll recommend. Wait one second, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, I would say the short. I mean, it's different, Dave. So like, it depends. Like, I would say, um, like for example, for some people, they could be really mechanical in like diamond, and then some people can be really, um, strong in rotation and overall game sense in diamond, right? So it really depends on like what your weaknesses are. So I'd have to look at that first. Um, and I guess a good question for you would be like, what would you believe is like a big weakness for you, right? Like, would you say mechanics is like a weak suit, or would you say more game sense where you're typically like getting beat to the ball a lot, you're typically like not in plays, that type of stuff. So it's like first you want to differentiate like, okay, am I weak mechanically or am I weak more game sense wise? You know what I mean? It's more of a question for that. And it's more so isolating. So the more you isolate a specific thing, so I'll tell you guys like how I became even a pro and like what I've learned from other pros because you know, because I've talked to a good amount of like pros that compete at the highest level. Like I've been friends with Daniel, I've been friends with First, I've been friends with Beast Mode, all these people. And something that like I think I heard pretty frequently was like a lot of times the main way to really improve is one, you got to enjoy the game. Like you first of all really have to enjoy. But to give a better answer is like you need to isolate specific things, right? So what I did, and I think what a lot of the pros do is like they first isolate a lot of like what it is they need to improve on. So that could be like rotation, right? They'll look at, and I had coaches too. I had coaches like Greasy Meister. I had coaches like Mystic. Um, I had coaches like McLando, like all these people. And what really helped me a lot was like they would look at like my rotation first. They would make sure I'm really solid in rotation, and they would do that by looking at other pros or other players, giving me their insights. So I was a combination of multiple different pros, right? So we would look at like Vatira, or like for example, now it would be like looking at Vatira. It would be looking at like maybe Daniel afterwards, and then Beast Mode, seeing how they rotate, see which ties into me, and then taking away certain traits from each player. And the same thing with positioning, and you kind of want to build on that. So first you want to learn positioning. Okay, this is how these pros are positioning. Then you want to learn rotation. Okay, this is how these pros are rotating. Then you want to learn challenging. Okay, do these pros usually fake challenge more or do they more aggressive challenge? And that's what I'm going to be covering today, which I think is going to help you guys a lot. Um, do these pros fake challenge a lot? How are they winning more in solo queue? Like these type of things. So yeah, Kappa. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah. You want to first look at it, but you want to like if the thing is like a lot of people don't even know what their weakness is, right? So that's why you want to first like just look at like specific things and just improve on them. Watch the cycle, by the way, guys. Oh, pass to that player over there, and then that player over here ends up scoring. Okay. All right. Anyway, Alright guys, yeah, hopefully this helps a lot. I'm gonna get, here, let me share this replay with you guys, and you guys are gonna see a lot. So something I want you guys to really focus on is like, look at how many times Daniel like goes for an aggressive challenge, right? Really focus on his challenging here, okay? Like really focus. And by the way, Daniel just got like #1 not too long ago, so this is a great player to look at, right? We found a good replay from it. There's so many players that are named him, but like they don't where is it? So he actually got like a really good win, guys. He won against Kofor, who's on Shopify, if you guys don't know, and he won against Diego. Where is it? Who are like top, like Diego's a bubble player, I believe, and he had like a solo queue teammate. Is it? And I watched this with the premium boys. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so I want you guys to look at this. So, and I do think, guys, this is the cheat code to ranking up. Like, this is really the secret. But look at how Daniel plays this, right? Really focus on. So there's. Let me tell you guys what to look for specifically. So there's two types of challenges, right? There's the passive challenges. Passive challenges are fake challenges, hover challenges, and drive-through challenges, where you just drive through the play. You know, you don't really commit to, you don't flip into anything, you know, you don't really dive in, right? So that's a drive through. There's a fake challenge, and then there's the hover challenge. Hover challenge, self-explanatory. You like hover, right? You hover in the air. You wait for the player to finish their play. This is more for like defending against flip resets, air dribbles, that type of stuff. And then there's like the fake challenges, obviously, like, you know, you act like you're gonna challenge, but then you don't actually challenge. So that's like the difference, right? So look at how many times, like, look at how Daniel, how much he commits to his plays, and how aggressive it really is. Okay. And when you look at for this one specific thing, a lot of it is gonna be like, it's gonna make sense. And I guarantee you guys, if you guys watch a replay of yourself, you're gonna see a completely different like ratio of like actual commitments and you know, stuff like that. So he does end up getting scored on here because it's like a kickoff goal, but we'll start from this kickoff. So like, look at this play specifically, right? So a lot of people here would just drive through, right? They would drive in, they would challenge, but look at how safe he's playing. This is how you need to play in solo queue, right? He doesn't commit to this challenge. He fake challenges first, and then he like forces for him, right? So there's the person that forces, and then there's a person that follows up. As a first man, when you're in front of your teammate, usually you want to force, right? So here you guys see how Daniel can't see anyone on his screen. That means he's the first man. Here, his teammate can see Daniel, right? His teammate, who his name is, who decided that? His teammate can see Daniel, so he is second man. Daniel is first man, just because they can't see each other, or Daniel can't see his teammate, and then his teammate can see each other, right? So when you're the first man, you're typically in a role where you have to force, which means either hover challenge, and I'll recommend you guys to hover challenge, fake challenge, or drive challenge, and not actually go in for so many these super aggressive challenges where you flip into the wall, because you'll see here with Daniel, it's actually really surprising. He goes for them maybe once or twice this whole game, right? So look, like a single flip jump, you know, forces for his teammate perfectly, and now he has the ball. Obviously, like this good play, right? But look at how he doesn't try to force anything too, right? He goes for this flip reset, still has 42 boost. Now he uses that to instant recover, right? I don't think he should have went for corner boost. I think instead he should have like turned more towards like mid and went back. But this is where you guys will realize a big issue that you guys might be encountering, where if you do commit to these type of plays, when you leave your teammate back, you're gonna eventually get scored on. You know, you can't trust you guys know this for sure. You can't trust your teammate in defense, and especially in solo queue, because you're gonna always get scored on. So the main problem there was, even though Daniel saved a lot of boost and he could recover instantly, he went for a corner boost play, which is something that typically a lot of threes players do. So there, I would recommend instead just rotating back. But look at how he doesn't flip here too, right? So I don't want you guys to ever like. By the way, when you're watching replays, don't ever focus on the execution. Okay, never focus on the execution. Always focus on the idea first. So like here, the idea is he doesn't get the boost, but look at how he doesn't flip into it, right? He doesn't flip into this. Why? Because now if he flips into this, he's going to be in the air floating with zero boost for a really long period of time, right? The problem with that is your recovery is going to be even slower. You can't afford to do that, especially in solo queue, right? So he doesn't challenge there. And I'm not going to pause so much, right? But look at how, like, okay, 2 times in the corner within the first minute, he never really dove in, right? He never really went in for an aggressive challenge. He doesn't dive here. And then he doesn't dive. Let's go back. And this is for challenges specifically, right? He doesn't dive here as well, right? So 2 fake challenges or 2 passive challenges immediately as the first event. And then yeah, let's go back here. But I'm not gonna try to pause too much, just because we'll be here for like a full hour. So, and I do have a session here with someone here really soon at 2:30. So 2:30 my time. For you guys, it might be different. Yeah. So like that's a little bit different, but look at how he flips in a way. He flips in a way where he can instant recover, right? Nice. Look, so this is a little bit hard to tell, but look at how he fake challenges this. So he could dive into this, but instead he fake challenges. Kofor gives the ball away, and now Daniel has like free possession, right? Again, just pay attention to his challenges. So look at how he goes for the shot too, right? When you look at the shot, this is not hard to tell, but he can either flip more towards the goal, go all in over the shot, or he could focus more on recovery, which is kind of half committing to the shot and then using the rest to recover instantly instead, right? So look at how he kind of flips. He kind of like doesn't put on the greatest shot, but he flips in a way where he can instantly recover. So he flips in a way where his wheels will land on the wall, and then he can wave dash back and instant recover, right? So he didn't really fully commit to that play. He said focus on recovery there because that's really important there because he is a second man, and as a second man, if the ball goes past you, you're gonna get scored on, you know. So look, not like none of these shots are crazy. Like I would argue, a lot of you guys can save this, right? A lot of you guys can save these type of shots, right? None of these are crazy, but notice how he's not fully committing to these plays, right? He goes in for like a normal shot, instantly goes back, right? It's more like if you guys are like boxing fans or you guys all know jabs and hooks, right? It's more like he's just throwing in these jabs. He's not really like going in for any hook shots or any like these like power shots or anything, right? He's just kind of jabbing. So like look at this, right? This is like not difficult to defend against too, right? Like a slow ground play, he goes back, right? Into dribble, into a 50, right? And now look, Incy goes back, right? So another jab. So like look at this play. So a jab here, right? Goes in like a small jab. Jab here again, right? Like he hasn't really went in for like a power play, even though he's down by 3, right? He's down by 3 goals against Kofor and another like bubble player. Right? Look at how he's still not like power shotting. And the reason for that is because you'll get opportunities just like this. If you are really strategic, you're really smart with a lot of your challenges, your plays, your decision making, opportunities will always come. As someone who has gotten ranked 1 before, who has been top 100, who's played at a pro level, like trust me when I say this, like opportunities will always come, guys. You can't like you don't need to ever force them, right? Especially in ranks. Like goals will come to you because your opponents will like always mess up. Save. So, but also notice how he always has boost left over, right? So he goes in for like a 2-touch air dribble, and then now he instantly rotates back, right? Instantly recovers back. So you guys are starting to see, right, how important really recovery is when you're solo queuing. Like, look at this again, right? So here he can go all in for this play. He can fully dive into this, right? He can like fully commit to this play. But look at this. He drives in and then goes back, right? Drives in, goes back. See, like you see how like passive this guy is, right? He's so like careful with everything he goes for. And I mean, he's the most recent world champ too. Nice. And then look at this, right? I want you guys to pay attention to this play right here, right? Pay attention to it. So a lot of you guys might think like these pros, air dribble, flip reset, do these advanced mechanics and stuff, but look at how he scores here. Right? Just a normal shot. I would argue a lot of you guys can do this already. Right? Normal like shot on goal, and and Diego is like by the way, if he's in this lobby, he's a high ranked player, and I think he's like a bubble player as well, right? That's what I mean, bro. Opportunities will always come. You guys never need to force them, right? Just throwing jobs, eventually the defense will break down. Normal shot like that went in at the highest level and the high SSL, right? What a flick. That was a really good flick. But look at this too, right? Here he can jump up for this, right? Here, like you can jump up for this ball, you know, keep forcing. But look at this. You guys see how he throws in a couple jabs and then leaves, right? You guys see what I mean? Like he throws in jabs, leaves, jabs, leaves. Like he doesn't really go for any power shots that much, right? Look at this double jump shot, instantly back, right? So you guys are understanding like this rotation, this decision making overall. It's very simple, dude. It's really simple. A lot of people overcomplicate it, dude. Like you do not need to do all this aggressive stuff. So that I would say like we can consider that like one like kind of all-in play, right? The reason why we can consider that is because he has no boost left over. All his previous plays, he's always had boost left over, but this play he doesn't, right? He still has 14, but we'll just say he doesn't, right? We'll just say he's like 0 because he does land with like 2 boosts. But look, he instantly rotates back, you know, goes for a power shot, instantly back, right? But within the 4 minutes we've been watching him, that was once. That was once we saw him go all in, right? That was once we saw him go for like a power shot. Also look at this type of challenge too, right? So he doesn't go directly into the ball. He instead hovers first. He goes for a hover challenge. This is what I was talking about, right? You guys see how passive this guy's challenges are, right? He spams passive challenges. Doesn't really commit to them, and that's a lot of like that is the I think the number one issue I see with a lot of people is their ratio is completely off from aggressive challenges and passive challenges. They spam aggressive challenges just like this one way more than they do passive ones, right? So that's like I would say that's the maybe first 2 we've seen do the 4 minutes or almost 5 going into the 5th minute, right? And it kind of makes sense because they're down by 1 or they're down by 1 with 1 minute left. Like you do have to switch it up, right? Obviously, if you're down by 3 goals and there's only 2 minutes left, then you have to, you know, naturally start playing more aggressively. But the problem a lot of people have is they start playing aggressively and they have this ratio before they even like are down by a couple goals or anything like that, which you guys have to be careful of. And look at how this goes in, right? Nothing crazy. An opportunity just kind of presents itself, right? It just happens and they end up scoring. But you guys see how the number 1 ranked player in the world champ, he's not doing anything insane, right? Nothing really crazy. A lot of his goals are kind of just handed to him, I would say. And if you guys watch Daniel, like me a lot, you guys will know that this is a very common practice. Like this is very common from him. You know, a lot of it he spends behind his teammate. I even made a tweet on this guy because I watch this guy so much. I understand his playstyle really well. A lot of it is behind his teammate, and a lot of times, you know, as long as he's being really smart with his challenges, his decision making, he wins games. And yeah, that's why I try to help a lot of people naturally incorporate into their game. Right, he cuts off the play there and then instantly back. Right, you guys see how quick jabs or maybe like 1 power shot, instantly rotation back. Right, you guys see the consistency there, like. That's how you guys want to structure a game, you know? It doesn't have to be this level, right? You don't have to go for flip resets or anything like that. Dude, even if you, like, we saw how he scored. He shot from a double jump, a normal power, like, or like a normal flip into power shot. Like, like that goal should never happen at this level. He scored from that. The other goals, like, it was really like the ball was just rolling in, right? And this is at the highest level. So if this is happening here, bro, I guarantee you guys can do the same, you know? Like, you guys don't have to do that. Like, you can just go for flicks or, you know, whatever you're comfortable with mechanically. Right, so it goes for another power shot and then instantly goes back, right? Doesn't stay around for too long. Goes in and goes out, nice. And then you see how he lets his teammate force for him, right? So here he can go in for this challenge, but a lot of times he lets his teammate force. When you guys are solo queuing, you want to let your teammate force. The main reason for that is because when you do let your teammate force, and also look at this play too, right? This is nothing crazy. You would expect Daniel to go for flip resets, all this advanced mechanics and everything, but he really doesn't go for them. But the thing is, like when you're solo queuing, you want to let your teammate go first, just because you can trust them more in offense than you can in defense. And when you let them force more, you're playing more in defense, where they're playing more in offense, right? So a lot of times when you do get scored on, you will know that it's your fault because you could have maybe done a different challenge, or maybe you could have read the play better, and that will put you in positions where you won't lose off your solo queue teammates, which is the main thing that I'm trying to help you guys with, right? But you guys see how in that 5 minute, however long that game was, we saw him literally only go for like 3 maybe like actual like aggressive challenges. The rest were entirely passive, right? Like this guy does not really go all in on his plays. And if you guys want another example of this, we also watched me and the boys in Premium. We watched it was who was it? It was Vatira. Yeah, we watched a Zen replay. We watched Zen, Vatira, and Atao versus. It was Atao and Vatira versus Zen and like a solo queue teammate, and it was really similar, guys. Really similar. These guys rarely go in for aggressive challenges. They rarely commit to like actual plays. and you guys will see the same thing. If you guys want to look at your own time, you guys can see here. Let me show you guys. I'll give you guys the exact replay file, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. If you guys want more examples of what I mean, and really focus on the same thing we focused here, right? Um, focus on how Zen like challenges and like really focus in on like like how he plays. You'll see a lot of similarities. There's a lot of similarities between the best ranked players in the world, because they have this certain play style. Oh yeah, it's this one. Yeah, it was Zen and Matt versus Vatira and Adele. So if you guys want more examples, let's literally just look at this replay, right here. And don't just pay attention. I mean, you can pay attention to Zen, but you'll see everyone doing the same thing, right? You guys will see the same thing. But yeah, guys, yeah. Hopefully this helps you. This is something I kept in mind. It helped me a lot. It's something I've been trying to add in with like a lot of the boys in premium, and I think it's been going great. A lot of the boys are on win streaks, so I think it's been going really good. So yeah, dude. Hopefully you guys get the same level of success, man. And yeah, dude, I'm always here for questions too. So next weekend, if you guys want to tune in, you guys have questions, you guys can hit me up anytime. But all right, guys. Hopefully all that helps. Hopefully that makes sense. And yeah, guys, I'll see you guys later. If you guys want to join in for the ending one, you guys can too. It'll be the same thing. I'll just be talking about the same thing. But yeah, guys, have a good one. Maybe in the NA one, maybe we talk about the Atao and Zen one. I'll see. But yeah, guys, have a good one, guys. See you guys later. Bye. See you. You guys all know. You guys all know